All right, so thanks so much for joining. Today I'm going to show you how to create this black and white flyer that I created for an elementary school dance. First thing to keep in mind when creating a black and white flyer is to ensure that every image you use and or color is all black and white or grayscale. So you're going to want to make changes to any images by playing with the colors. I'll show you how to do that later to ensure everything is black and white. One more point is I'm going to use a number of different fonts, and we just don't have time to go into detail of how to download and install new fonts. I do have a number of other videos, and in nearly every other one of my videos I do show you how to download and install fonts. So please watch some of my prior videos if you do not know how to do that. Okay, so when creating this flyer, the first thing we're going to want to do is go to New Blank Document. Okay, and we're going to want to go to our page layout and click on our margins and click on narrow. And again, this is just to give us more real estate to work with. Okay, so let's go ahead and insert a shape. And the first thing we're going to do, and we're going to insert a rectangle, is we're going to create sort of that black and white, or that black background that we have. And essentially what you want to do is select the image and go over one of the little squares, left click and drag and drop to where you want this to look. Okay, now if you notice in my prior, this is kind of slanted. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to ensure this is selected. We want to click on Format, and we want to click over here to Edit Shape. And when we edit shape, we want to edit points. When we edit the point, we're going to move this down and keep that kind of up, and that looks about right. Okay, so now we want to click on Format, and obviously we want to do Shape Fill, and we want to make this black and do our shape outline and make that black. Okay, so now we can see this is kind of what it looks like. Okay, so the very next thing we want to do is grab this image. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up Google and let's type guitar player silhouette. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and click on images, and I don't see it here. It looks kind of like this though, so let's go ahead and click on view more, and here's our image right here. Okay, now if possible, you want to find one of these images that has the transparent background that is a .png. I couldn't find that, so I'll show you how to make the background transparent so you don't have this white background, and I'll show you that in a little bit in Word. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save this rocker silhouette. So we're going to go ahead and insert our picture, and it's in our video, and it's our rocker silhouette. Okay, so if you try to move this around, you can't, right, the image. So what you want to do is either click on this box for layout options, or you want to right click and click on wrap text, and you want to click in front of text. Now you can very easily move this image around. Okay, and let's go ahead and move that. And then what you want to do too is move it around so you see that X. When you see that green X, you know that that image is centered in the middle of the page. So now we see that we have this white background around this image. Is clearly not what we want. So what we want to do is click on Format, and we want to click on Remove Background. And then from here, it's going to turn everything pink, and you're going to be able to select what you want to include in the image. And again, it's kind of like crop. And you just want to click on Keep Changes. Okay, now you've removed that white background. Now what we want to do is we want to make that grayscale, because obviously the black is fading into the black. So we want to click on Format, we want to click on Color, and we want to click on Washout. Okay, so now we have that same rocker guy. Okay, now we just want to add in a whole bunch of text boxes. So we want to click on Insert Text Box, and we want to draw our text box. And up here, we're going to go ahead and write, "Come join us at the East Gate." And we want to click on Home, and we want to center this. And the font is Eros Light, and the size is 36. Okay, did not change to 36, nor did it change, sorry about that, the ERS lights, and this is 36, enter, okay? Now we want to go ahead and click on format, because if we click out of there, we can see that there's this box up here. We don't want the box. So we want to click on that text box, and we want to click on format and do a shape outline of no outline and a shape fill of no fill, okay? Now we see the come join us. And now we want to go to insert, a new text box, and we want to draw the text box, and we want to type in dance. And we want to click on home, and this is Disco Diva, and the size is 75, and we want to center this text box, and then we can click on here and ensure this is centered. And once again, if we click out here, we can see this text box has a black background and it's filled with white, so we want to click on formats and do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of no outline, okay? Now we want to add in this black and white circles. So we want to, once again, draw a text box. Okay? And what we want to do is insert a symbol. Okay? Majority of the fonts that you, sorry about that, insert symbol. The majority of the fonts, why is that not? Oh, it's inserting up here. I apologize about that. You want to ensure that you are selected in the text box, and then you want to insert symbol. I apologize. Symbol, symbol, symbol. The majority of the new fonts that you download will have their own symbols as well, so you can get pretty creative with those. And a symbol is basically just a font, right? So you're going to highlight that middle one. You're going to go to home, just like you would change the font color, change that to white, and you want to change the outline to black. Okay, I'm going to do that again for this next one. You want to go home, you want to change the font color to white, and you want to change the outline to black. Okay, and that's how you create that image. And you can very easily highlight these, and you can click on copy, right click, paste, right click, paste, or you can do Control V as a shortcut. And there we go. Okay, now what we want to do is select this box, click on format, and once again shape fill, because we don't want to have a text box around that. Now we want to add in our final portion of the white. Oops, not a picture, apologize. We want to insert, once again, a text box. And we want to enter in our date. And what we're going to do is enter in this December 17th Eastgate Gymnasium. And we're going to have two different text boxes to do two different types of image formats. So we're going to type in December 17th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're going to go ahead and highlight this, and we're going to center this. And this font is Keep on Truckin', and it is a 28-point font. Okay. And once again, we want to ensure that is centered, and we want to ensure this text box is centered. And we want to format and do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of, once again, no outline. Now we want to insert one more text box, and we're going to draw this text box directly underneath. And we want to type Eastgate Gymnasium, all family members welcome. Okay. And once again, this is Keep on Truckin', and this is a 28-point font. Okay. And we want to center this, and we want to ensure this text box is centered. And then what we want to do is obviously format this and do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of no outline. But more importantly, we want to highlight this and click on format, and we want to click on text effects, and we want to click on transform. And when we transform, we want to change this to cascade up. Okay. And again, I selected cascade up. And now what we want to do is click on this little pink box, and we want to ensure that that line lines up with our bottom shape. So we can actually even move this down. We can move this down. And again, all I'm doing is selecting on the text box, and I'm moving the arrow keys on my keyboard down. And then we can do that. Okay? And that looks very similar to that. And you might want to play with the spacing a little bit as well, right? We can move this down a little bit. And you can just play with the spacing from here on out. All right, now we want to add in our photo booth cookies and our rock on. So we want to once again insert a text box, and we want to draw a text box, and we want to type in photo booth, and we want to go to home, and the font is CF Punk Forever, and it is a 48 point font. We can make this a little bit bigger here. Photo booth. And obviously we are going to want to format, and we're going to want to do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of no outline, and we are going to want to make that font color white. And then from here we can click on this little circle till we see those additional circles, and we can move this over. Okay. Now we can copy by either right clicking and click on copy, and then right click and we can click on paste. And now we can simply just change photo booth to prizes, and we can click Control V for paste, and we can click on cookies. And these are all have to be capitalized if you want to use this font and get the same look. Okay. And we want to add in juice. J-U-I-C-E. And again, these are all capitalized. And we can add in finally our DJ. DJ was down here. I think this is just centered. Okay, now finally we want to add in our rock on. So we want to, as you can guess it, once again insert a text box, and let's draw that text box. Rock on. And we want to highlight this and click on format, and we want to do a shape fill, once again of no fill, a shape outline, once again of no outline. We want to click on home, and we want to make that font white. And this is a CF Revolution, and it is a font size of 72. Okay. Now from here, again, we want to go home, and we want to center this, and we want to go here and ensure this is centered in the middle. Okay. And then from here, we can go ahead and click on Formats, and we want to click on Text Effects, we want to click on Transform, and we want to click on Triangle Up. And then from here, we can make that a little bit bigger and move the DJ over. And that's it. That is how you essentially recreate that. Oh, the disco ball. Finally, again, you can just find a disco ball online. Pretty easy to do. Let's insert our disco ball picture. And once again, we want to move this in front of text, make this much smaller. And we want to format this and change the color to maybe right there. Okay, and we can right click on this, and we can say bring to front. And that's it. That is how you create that black and white flyer. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please feel free to like the video and watch any of my other videos as well to get some great fun tips using Microsoft Word to create printables.